And he drives Gamble. Gamble has slow feet, not able to stay in front of Amon Shumpert.
13 of Georgia Tech's 16 points have come from Shumpert this afternoon, including 3 3-pointers. And Shumpert on the line. Shumpert is one of several very good foul shooters that Georgia Tech has, which could become a factor as the day goes along. And there, now that I've jinxed him.
Well, Shumpert only averaged 10 points a game last year as a sophomore, has increased his output to 17 points a game, one of the most improved players in the league from the scoring standpoint.
Georgia Tech more in a true zone now. Reggie Johnson gets his first work out of the low post directly to the basket, and he scores.
Nice left hand with the big body, creates the angle, doesn't have to jump very high, just bodies the defender out.
Shumpert drops it down for Daniel Miller for the dunk.
Well, he shoots it from 3, he drives it to the basket, he dishes it. Unbelievable. What a year Amon Shumpert against stacked defenses, Steve.
And he'll get a steal before the day is done. Here's Johnson moving underneath, and they're going to say he traveled. Roger Ayers with the call. Turnover for Miami here with 7:14 left to go. We got a timeout on the court. The Yellow Jackets penetrate, and Daniel Miller knows what to do with the ball inside. Around in the Thriller Dome, and it's been a thriller so far. Miami came from 6 points down to lead here by 1, 19-18. Amon Shumpert has been as dominating as we expected him to be. Eddie, he's been outstanding today.
Well, 13 points on 5 of 8 shooting from the floor, 3 of 6 from 3. Really, it's fun to watch Amon Shumpert play basketball.
See our GMC scoreboard. Virginia with a big win over Maryland yesterday in that traditional rivalry. Mo Miller's 3 doesn't go. And of course, earlier today, Boston College 84-68 over Wake Forest, and they lock up the 5th seed in the ACC tournament. Here's the drive by Duran Scott. It'll count, plus the foul. And Miami now seems to have gotten their feet underneath them. Mo Miller will get the foul.
Nice drive by Scott. Boy, the backcourt of Scott and Grant was outstanding.
And closed captioning for today's telecast is provided by Bojangles' famous chicken and biscuits. It's bow time. I took in a little bow action on the way to the game today.
There you go. Scott, a transfer from Villanova. You know, red shirts sitting out helps him. Reggie Johnson, a red shirt. I'm a big believer at a 5th year. A red shirt giving you a 5th year is very beneficial to basketball players. You see it all the time in football. You don't see it a whole lot in basketball.
Of course, you used to see it in the 70s when freshmen weren't eligible to begin with. They didn't get that extra year of eligibility. Here comes Rice. Boards his own miss. Gets it to Miller, and he got fouled on the way up.
Nice catch, excuse me, Steve. Nice catch. Good hands by the 6'11" redshirt freshman. Another young man who has gone the redshirt route. The penetration off the miss by Rice. Good follow, great pass, good pump fake, gets the defender up. Here's a young man who's leading his team in shot blocks, playing more, playing with more confidence. He's going to be a real solid player in this league. Has to improve his stamina, Steve, his strength a little bit, his touch a little bit, but he's got good feel for the game.
Well, he has 14 blocks the last 4 games, so he's established himself on the defensive end, as you said. Don't forget the ACC tournament from the ACC network. Where else would you go? 12 noon on Thursday. Miller misses both free throws. Reggie Johnson comes up with a rebound for Miami. Here's Ryan Brown.
A little surprised Georgia Tech not pressing full court more. It's been a 3/4 court press.
More back to a man, but beating that to the corner is going to be DeQuan Jones. DeQuan trying to come off an injury. Inside, the ball stolen by Jones as Rice lost control. Up court, pass comes. Ryan Brown will recycle it back out front to Grant. Under 6 to go. Turnovers, each team has 5. Reggie Johnson throws one at the rim in hope of a foul, didn't get it. Morris boards it. Udofia in the break. The shot will not go. The dunk does not count. There will be a foul on Miami coming back, and that foul is going to be on Malcolm Grant.
Well, Reggie Johnson again getting double teamed. He's got to do one of two things, Steve. He's got to make a quick move to the basket or anticipate the double team and make a better pass out on the fast break. Pretty darn good defense right there by Miami, but Udofia draws the foul.
Mufon Udofia goes to the line. He's a sophomore from Stone Mountain, Georgia. And only 12 turnovers in the last 12 games for Udofia, so takes good care of the basketball. That's where Georgia Tech has made their major improvement this year. The ACC is now on Facebook. Log on to Facebook and become a fan of the Atlantic Coast Conference. Get breaking news, conference updates, and connect with other ACC fans from around the world. Rice comes off the floor now. Lance Storrs is back.
Georgia Tech 0 of 4 from the free throw line, really struggling at the stripe.
Udofia breaks through. It's 24-19 Miami, and here comes full court pressure from the Yellow Jackets. Darius Adams. And we got a whistle on a foul coming up. It's going to be on Morris. Didn't give the offensive player any room to come down.
Well, I got to give kudos out to Jason Morris, his prep school coach up in Connecticut, the young man named Fred Benjamin, who had the honor of coaching at Vanderbilt. Said hello to Jason before the game and told him I coached his prep school coach in college. Got a nice smile.
And today's GMC scoreboard in the SEC. Kentucky a winner today over Tennessee. Pretty good finals down the way. Some early conference tournament play as well. The ACC opens Thursday. Gamble inside, working hard, and draws the foul.
Miami needs to do more of that inside. Gamble, Johnson punching in there. Miller, the only resistance available for Georgia Tech. Nice post feed here. They need to look in more inside, outside combination with their three-point shooting. If they can establish the low post, it'll be very rewarding.
Lance Storrs comes up with that foul, sending Gamble to the line. Gamble is yet another recruit that Frank Haith has found out of the state of North Carolina. Reggie Johnson's from Winston-Salem. Julian's from Durham.
Of course, Frank, a North Carolina native, went to Elon College as an undergraduate.
He knows what the ACC is all about from his time in Burlington, North Carolina. 20-5 Miami run to take a 25-19 lead over Georgia Tech. Iman Shumpert out front goes to Morris. Udofia against a Miami zone inside. Shumpert to Miller, and he will score.
Good, great pass by Shumpert, number one. Number two, excellent hands by Miller. You can't teach somebody to catch. You're born with good hands. With that size and hands, again, he's going to develop into a very solid player.
Miami beats the clock by a second getting into front court. Now Georgia Tech goes back into a zone. Gamble turns, goes baseline, and scores. Nice play by Julian Gamble.
Good quick spin. Miller doesn't have quick feet in the post. He needs to back off and slide his feet better defensively.
Turnover by the Yellow Jackets. Shumpert got a little loose with the ball. Darius Adams looking for an option and calls timeout. So Miami calls time as they force the turnover. Shumpert out of control. Let's watch Gamble again.
Well, great quick spin, but Miller needs to back off. Once the post catches it, Miller needs to back off, create space to play the drive. He's tall enough to challenge the shot, but not quick enough to play the drive.
From humble beginnings in 1954, when Everett Cates at NC State won the very first ACC title. Last year's winner, the Duke Blue Devils. The ACC tournament's become the granddaddy of all tournaments, as Jim Valvano said. Be sure to mark the calendar as the ACC Network starts coverage Thursday at noon and takes you through the championship game on Sunday. For more information on the tournament, go to theacc.com. This game will determine a lot about what happens as far as the first round. A Miami win puts them in 7. Get the rest of the scenarios here in a minute. Here is Adrian Thomas with his third three-pointer of the game and lifts Miami to a 9-point lead, 30-21.
Well, that was excellent press offense. They bring up the post, up the sideline, hit the middleman, take it on a fast break, create numbers. Well done.
Largest lead of the game now for the Hurricanes, who suffered early. They were down 14-6, 14-8 actually. And then they went on an 11-point run. And they maintained the lead ever since. Here's the three from Stores. He gets it.
Inside out, they hit the high post. Daniel Miller punches it to the corner. Stores wide open. Ball goes to the middle. Miami ought to let Miller go one-on-one. They ought to clamp up on the perimeter, see if the big guy can play from the high post.
6 points for Lance Stores. Georgia Tech cuts the Hurricanes lead to 6. Duran Scott out front. Darius Adams with him. Here's Adrian Thomas. Frank Haith has rotated back to his original starting five. Johnson works the post area. Bodies fly when he goes through. Udofia now comes away with a loose ball. We've got an injured player. Looks like Lance Stores at the other end holding his ankle. Plenty of emotion in the final day of the Thriller Dome. They'll close this building for 2 years. They'll replenish it with the McCamish Pavilion. See Lance Stores being worked on in the tunnel prior to the locker room. He fell on his ankle and twisted it in a scrum. Watch it here.
Steve, looks like Reggie Johnson right there may have fallen on it as he's going down, in a lot of pain, taken out, being worked on by the medical staff at Georgia Tech.
Rice tries to steal from Duran Scott. Take a look at our principal financial edge of the game, and you talk about Miami. Frank Haith and his assistants want to get points in the paint. Paul Hewitt and his team wants points off turnovers, which helped them to come within 2 down in Miami. Points off turnovers is coming over pretty well for Georgia Tech, but 2 points in the paint for Miami. Their outside shooting's been better. Reggie Johnson boards the miss. Shumpert steals it from him. Here's Morris at the rim. Scored a basket and the foul. No basket. Offensive foul, Morris.
Steve, that looked like a good call to me by Sean Cobbin, unless the defender was under the basket taking the charge. It would be a no call. If Reggie Johnson is under the hoop, close call.
Offensive foul constitutes a turnover that wiped out a basket by Jason Morris. Inside, Johnson blocked by Michael Miller. Recovered here by Miami. Here's Scott. Shot clock down to 5. Adrian Thomas covered up by Udofia, gets some distance, and hits the 2.
Well, that's great defense. Give Georgia Tech credit. Probably the best defensive possession of the half, and Miami scores.
Adrian Thomas did a good job getting separation from the defender.
Step back jumper, tough shot.
Thomas, one of those great stories. 2 years hampered by injuries, got a 6th season of eligibility. Good student. Here's Rice for 3. No. Rebound. Fought for, and Johnson gets it.
Crowd wanted a foul on the shot. Paul Hewitt about to take his coat off on the sideline.
Nice basket by Malcolm Grant. The short floater off the baseline.
How do you guard Grant? Great shooter. Puts it on the floor. Pulls up. Very difficult to guard.
He leads the ACC in 3-pointers made per game at almost 3.
Well, that's shot. The last one he took is the one you want to give up, the mid-range jumper.
Is Shumpert, who's been quiet after scoring 13 points to begin this game.
Georgia Tech's got a dribble, penetrate, and pitch. You can't score just passing it around the perimeter. Tough shot.
Here's Rice for 3. And the thing is that Georgia Tech's not able to control the rebounding action after those long threes either. Coming up at halftime, we'll have analysis, highlights, stats, and more. We'll review the ACC tournament bracket as it stands right now, with changes coming, all coming up on the Hardy's halftime report.
38 seconds, Steve. Excuse me. 38 seconds. Miami will play for the last shot of the half.
3-second differential there. Miami brings it up. Steve Martin here along with Eddie Fogler here in Atlanta. The Alexander Memorial Coliseum, dubbed by Brad Nessler the Thriller Dome. All the great finishes at